Hello, everybody. I hope your first week of English 112 is going well. Hopefully, you finished the first part of the task that I assigned on Monday. And I'm posting this on Thursday. I had anticipated posting it on Wednesday, but I didn't get it uploaded, so I'm posting it on Thursday morning. I did post the quiz last night for the introduction, just on the syllabus. It's a fairly simple quiz, so you should be able to get through it. And you're welcome to use the syllabus, print it out, use it as a reference. The goal of the quiz is just to have you show that you've read the quiz and that you understand some of the key elements of it with that quiz. So that should be able to help you get a really good grade to start. Also, I wanted to go over a few things in the course with you, such as just how to navigate some things in case this is your first online class. Some of it may seem a little repetitive if you've taken an online class before, but I'm just going to go over some quick things. If you do have any questions after this video or any time throughout the semester, please do not hesitate to ask. There are some videos on YouTube to help with certain tasks on Blackboard, and we do have the Jolt office that you can consult for certain questions. But if you have trouble navigating something, let me know, because I know sometimes it seems obvious to me because I do it a lot, but if it's the first time for you doing it, it may present some challenges. So just let me know. The first thing is you have this little left side menu bar. And so when all else fails, look on that just to see if one of the headers matches the task that you're going to have to do, such as discussion board. A lot of times I'll link those into the week where they're due, but you can also just click on the menu item and go straight to it. So you sort of have a couple of options. I said this in the other video, but every Monday I do post an announcement. I email that announcement to you, so you should be checking your email and you'll see the announcements that I've sent out. They tend to go out either Sunday night, Monday morning, but you would have it to work, start with it on Monday. The announcement on Monday usually sort of spells out the tasks that you'll have to do. It explains deadlines, things like that. Once you've read the announcement, then you'll go straight to the weekly assignments, and these will be, they'll have the date. They will open up on Monday, so you don't have full access to them until the week where everything's due. And I do try to keep that paced so that you're only working on the week that we're in. I don't like for students to work ahead because some students tend to try to get too far ahead and then they haven't really done the steps to properly get to that assignment. For English 112, a lot of the writing is scaffolded into the next thing, meaning one thing layers into another. So if one or two students are working ahead, then they're not paced with the class and they're not really meeting meeting the criteria, and they're not spending the proper amount of time on the task and pacing it properly. So this week, you just were supposed to click on here, and I have everything linked for you. So far you should have done the enrollment verification quiz. You should have read the syllabus and all the parts to the syllabus that I had mentioned. And then you should have started the discussion board. The first post, the post that you would put with your introduction, is due by tonight on Thursday at 11:59. And then you have until Sunday to do the 2 responses. Remember that your post has to be 350 words at a minimum. And each response to 2 classmates' posts have to be 150 words. I do take off points if you do not meet the word minimum. I also take off points if you do not use academic rigor with your phrasing or if it's unpolished in some way. So that's sort of this week. I did post the introductory quiz for the syllabus yesterday. And again, it is a short quiz and it's something that you should be able to do after reading the syllabus. I'm fine if you need to consult the syllabus to answer the questions. The next thing I wanted to point out is I have set up the research logs. We will start this next week. You will likely have 2 research logs next week, but then usually each week you only have 1. So you should be able to see your name in the research log tab. And this is where you will post your responses to research log prompts. So I'll just go to the first one here. You click on your name, and then you want to go up to create journal entry. Once you do that, it sort of looks a lot like the discussion board. You just go in and you type directly into the text box. I do not want you for the discussion board or the research logs to attach files. I should not have to click on multiple places to find your work, so I just want it to appear in the text box. If you're very concerned about proper grammar, spelling, making sure it's polished, you're welcome to go ahead and type it into a Word document and then copy and paste it into those text boxes. And that can ensure you that you're able to review it properly and get it polished for grading for me. So generally, the research logs pace along with the assignments. Sometimes I'm asking you a question or having you respond to a prompt that has something to do with the assignment you're working on or for something that's coming up the following week. Sometimes it's more of a reflection of something you've just done or that you should do that week. And sometimes it's just more, like I said, a pacing of your ideas for the projects you're working on. It's just a way that I can get you to start thinking about something that you will work in a bigger scope later in the course. So these I don't generally have a word count for these, but I think I am looking for college rigor with this assignment. So probably if you stuck with the 350 word minimum, that would probably be the best way to approach it. You can go longer, but I don't want to see 1 or 2 sentences. You would not get full credit if you did that. This is a college class. It's the second in the series of 2 for your beginning general education requirement for writing. So I want you to really show me that you understand the concept of writing for a college environment. And so 350 words is a good baseline for that word count, but I don't generally count them as I might for a discussion board. So that's the journal entries, and you should be all set. If you do not see your name in that list, then please let me know, because I had to manually enter these into the system, and so there could be operator error on my part. I hope not. I went by the roster, but if your name is not appearing, just let me know and I can add it. Okay, so a couple of other things I wanted to point out. There is a resources tab, and I've linked a few things here, and I may go back and link things later in here as I feel that there might be a need. So I would say return to the resources tab often. There are a couple things. I've linked you to the JCC library. We'll be using the library a lot for the research databases, and you need to become familiar with that. And I will be posting a video probably next week on that, just to give you a tour of the library facilities and some of the things you can do online there. I have some research resources that mostly handouts, some things that the library supplied to us to help students become familiar with some of the concepts for the course. We also have the JCC Career Center link, and that is a place that you can go on campus in person, or you can link in through our website, and we have a full staff of people who will help you work on your resume, help you with interview skills. If you're looking for a part-time or full-time job, we have a lot of employers contact us, and they're looking for JCC students in the area. So if you're looking for a job, please use those facilities. They're great people, and I've seen them do a lot of good things for our students to help them find a job. They're also available for community members, and once you graduate, you can always go back to them, and they might help you get started with your career. Last but not least, the Smart Thinking link is here, and this is going to be very important for you. We offer up to 8 hours of online tutoring for our students every semester. Smart Thinking is an outside source for tutoring, but one of the great things that they offer is they offer review of papers. So you can upload a paper. Usually it's a good idea to maybe do that during the rough draft stage, during the peer editing stage for a major paper. And their tutors, who are either master's degree or PhD recipients in the English realm, they will review your paper. They will give you great feedback, line by line feedback. And I've read a lot of their feedback, and a lot of times it matches maybe what I would say or another instructor would say, so it helps you polish your paper. So I'm going to click on that really quickly and just sort of show you what will come up. Hopefully it'll come up and we can look at it. I may have to redo the link. The link does not seem to be coming up readily, so I'll work on that and I'll mention that in my video next week. You're not going to need it anytime soon because we don't have any papers due, but that link should go straight to Smart Thinking, so I may have to reestablish the link for you. Sometimes when we copy things over in Blackboard, the links get broken a little bit, and then we just have to reestablish them. So I will do that for you next week, and I'll mention it in next week's video. A couple of other things. Hopefully you've gotten your textbooks by now. You will have some reading assignments coming up, so make sure you do have those textbooks. You can buy the package from the JCC bookstore, Barnes & Noble, but you probably already have these things from English 111 if you took that here at JCC. We use these two textbooks in both courses, so hopefully you already have these textbooks. If you took English 111 somewhere else, if you've transferred in this semester, then you'll have to purchase those books. And then I have some e-text links there once you purchase the books. Okay, next I wanted to show you that I have a sample paper tab, and I'll probably be loading some more sample papers in as we do more assignments. So with the sample papers as a department, we have some generic sample papers that we've all sort of shared for just general use, and then I will also be loading in some of my student samples, things that I've deemed A quality. That doesn't mean they're perfect because I don't go back in and change the papers to make them perfect. I want you to see that it is a student's work, but you would be able to see what an A paper would look like. That doesn't mean that you may not see a mistake or two in there. Part of the connection with that is that you are also reviewing the assignment. You're also reviewing the formatting in the Siegel handbook, and you're also, following the standards for the assignment. So there could be a mistake or two in the student samples, but they are polished, and it's something that you should aspire to do for your paper as well. So I've heard that a lot of students like to use the student samples, and honestly, it really does help you with your own writing. So that's available for you. And then I wanted to go over just really quickly the discussion board. I know that some students have not done discussion boards before. So if you noticed, I clicked on discussion board here on the left side menu, and then in the weekly folder, I also had a link. A lot of times I'll just link you just as a courtesy. If for some reason I don't link you to something that's in the left-hand menu, you can certainly go click on that yourself. Like I said, the reason why I try to link it into the folder is just a courtesy to you so that I take out a step for clicks. But if for some reason that link is not there, you would just go to the left side menu and click straight in there. So our first task this week was to do an introduction. I've already posted my introduction, and between now and Sunday, I will be responding. For the introductions, I try to respond to everyone because I want to say hello to you and I want to get to know you better. But usually with discussion boards, I do not try to get fully involved because I know that's a student discussion and I want you to have more control over the process of the discussion. I do check into it. I do comment a little bit, but I try to let that discussion stay with the students. And honestly, your job in the discussion board is to drive that discussion. So when you do a comment to someone, I want to see that you're expanding the discussion, not just saying good job, great idea, but why is that a great idea? And then what other questions might you have based on that great idea that that student had? How can you continue the discussion? One of your responsibilities of being a student would be to go back and check your own post, see who has responded, and maybe respond back to them. I look for those things, and that shows me that you're a student who is striving to do his or her best, and that is the very nature of a discussion board. I know a lot of students just think, let me get my 350 words in there, let me do my quick little response, and I'm done. But the whole purpose, especially in an online class, for the discussion board is that you continue the discussion the same as you might in a classroom when you're having an in-class discussion. So when you do the introduction or any discussion response or any post, go to create a thread to post your put your initial post, and then you just have this kind of thing that looks just like a Microsoft Word page. Again, if you feel more comfortable doing it in a Microsoft Word folder and then copying and pasting the content into this text box, that's fine, but I do not want you to link a folder or a file. We just need to see it right in that text box. So let me go back here. I was going to show you. So we see these posts here. I'm going to go to mine, and then I'm just going to show you. So this was my initial post, and then if I wanted to reply to that, I just hit reply, and then you type straight in. So those are just, you've probably already done it before, but I wanted to go over that with you. So if you have any other questions, please let me know. You can email me, and I'll answer that. Remember, I do have the 3 before me, so before you ask a question of me, I want you to at least look into another source just to see if you can figure it out on your own. Excuse me. But, there are no dumb questions. There are no unwanted questions. I just want you to be an engaged student who has also sought out other answers to your own questions. And then when you ask me a question, you could preface it by saying, I have checked the style book. It states this, but I just want you to clarify this or that. So, approach the questions from a scholarly vantage point, and don't just ask me, questions that you could have looked up yourself. Once you ask the questions, sort of, support it with something that you've done yourself. I look forward to working with all of you, looking over all your introductions, responding to them. And then next week, we're going to really get into the assignments. We're going to start writing. You'll have your first writing assignment next week, and I look forward to working with you. I hope you've had a good week, and I look forward to seeing you online next week.